sure.
Islam Makhachev was seen.
The MMA world is holding its breath as Islam Makhachev prepares to move up and challenge welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena. This is a legacy-defining fight that has fighters, coaches, and fans completely divided. But while Islam has been pushing through a grueling training camp, some experts believe he is heading into one of the most difficult tests of his entire career. Let's break it down.
I think it's a super difficult fight for Islam, this one. He's like, obviously he's faced Volk twice. We'll forget about the second one, but the first one, very competitive with the grappling. And now we're talking about he's facing a guy that's some of the best scrambling ability, I think, period, in all of MMA, and some of the most unorthodox grappling. And I think that's what Belal struggled with. Belal really just sticks to a blueprint. The blueprint obviously works very well.
Right out of the gate, many experts believe this is far from an easy night for Makhachev. Renowned grappling coach Craig Jones sees this as one of Islam's most difficult challenges to date. He points to Makhachev's first bout with Alexander Volkanovski as a blueprint for how elite scrambling can give him trouble. Jones argues that Jack Della Maddalena brings an even more unpredictable and unorthodox grappling style to the table.
But in terms of creativity and what Belal does, I think it's pretty strict. Jack, as you saw in that fight, some of his off balances and grip breaks and some of the things he does, it's really hard to prepare for that. So I think like Islam, the size difference is going to be quite a lot bigger than people think. And we've seen how Volk did on the ground and how much Islam struggled with him in the grappling exchanges. And having seen Jack and Volk work together, seeing the skill sets, like this is a perfect one. The UFC want guys that stand and bang. I'm trying to still help him out even though potentially.
Adding his voice to the conversation is Gamebred himself, Jorge Masvidal. He called the potential clash a monumental battle. Masvidal acknowledged Islam's sheer size for a lightweight, noting he cuts a tremendous amount of weight and might even be a better fighter at 170. However, despite respecting Islam's strength and fight IQ, Masvidal stated that Jack Della Maddalena is a special kind of talent. He believes that if JDM can pull off the win, he deserves to be crowned the new pound-for-pound #1.
I've seen Islam, bro. He's a big guy. He's sucking out a lot of weight to get to 55. I think he might start doing better at 70. Problem is though, Jack is special. We're gonna see just how special he is if he beats Islam Jack, #1 pound for. Wow, that's impressive, you know.
While Masvidal leans slightly towards Islam, he was quick to emphasize that this is no walk in the park. He noted that JDM successfully defended takedowns from Belal Muhammad, a fighter known for his relentless cardio. But Masvidal draws a clear line between Belal's pressure and Islam's technical, intelligent wrestling, which he considers to be on an entirely different level. He predicts JDM will have the advantage in speed and power early, but if Islam can survive the initial storm and drag the fight into deep waters, his experience could be the deciding factor.
I'm leaning towards Islam, brother.
Oh, really?
You know, but I really think it's gonna be a tough fight for him, but a great fight, man.
Jack was able to defend takedown attempts by Belal.
Belal has the best cardio in MMA, but Belal doesn't have Islam's technique. Not same technique, not same. Very good, very aggressive. Belal never stops a dog. Attack. But Islam is like smart, man. Boom. You know, Islam's level of wrestling is above. His stand-up game is improving. I don't think he could go stand-up in the beginning with Jack. Jack has way better hands, way better range, faster, stronger. But as the rounds go on later and later, he could do.
Despite the daunting challenge, Islam Makhachev is leaving no stone unturned in his preparation. His training camps are already legendary for their intensity, and this one is no different. Guided by coach Javier Mendez and surrounded by a team of elite Dagestani wrestlers, Islam is sharpening every tool in his arsenal. The focus is on pushing his physical and mental boundaries through relentless sparring, high-altitude conditioning, and strategic drills designed specifically for the problems JDM presents. Footage from his training shows a fighter obsessed with perfection. His pad work is a seamless blend of striking and takedown entries, with every combination thrown with purpose and precision. It's clear his stand-up game is constantly evolving. The goal isn't just raw power, but intelligent movement, accuracy, and absolute control, the hallmarks of a truly complete martial artist. We're also seeing him drill his world-class wrestling relentlessly, focusing on chain wrestling and testing himself against bigger partners to acclimate to the welterweight frame. It's a clear statement that his grappling will remain his most potent weapon, even against a larger opponent.
Sure.
Islam Makhachev is pushing.
The opinions from the wider MMA world are split right down the middle. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson provided a welterweight's perspective on the size difference. He explained that many fighters at 170 walk around at weights far exceeding what Islam is used to. And even if they are similar in height, the strength gap could be immense. While Wonderboy respects Islam's grappling, he reminded everyone that JDM has already faced and handled elite wrestlers like Belal Muhammad.
I don't know, man. I mean, when you're going up to the welterweight division, those are some big boys. And I know Islam Makhachev walks around fairly heavy, but a lot of these 170s, they walk around real heavy. I'm talking about, over 205, 210 to the 215. Some of the guys that I've faced would walk around at that weight. I think like the height, I think they might be the same height. I think JD might be a little taller, but when it comes to those guys and their strength, Islam, I think, is going to have a tough time. Now, do I think he could get it done? Yes. I think he's that good of a grappler. But like I said, JDM has faced some of the best welterweight grapplers and wrestlers in the division. Islam, Belal being one of them. I think it's going to be a tough night for him. I would like to see Islam fight Topuria. That's just me. I would love to see that fight happen. But if he comes up, we'll see what the UFC gets behind. And we all know you got to convince the UFC to make it happen. And you do that first by getting on Twitter, shouting it out, and get people talking about it. And that's what Islam did. So we'll see if that fight happens with JDM.
Islam's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, confirmed that the plan is for Islam to fight for the undisputed welterweight title. He stated that if JDM is unavailable for any reason, the belt would be vacated, and Islam would fight a replacement for it. A plan he says has already been approved by UFC leadership.
They approved the plan.
When will it happen, Islam and Jack?
Islam fighting for the title this year. The non-interim title, a title. Jack Maddalena is the champion, but if Jack is not available, it will be someone else fighting Islam for the title. That's what the UFC told me. That's what Dana told me. That's what Hunter said. Everybody said, and that was one of the stipulations. If Islam go up, Jack get injured, and I hope he's healthy, and he seemed like he's healthy, this title will be vacated and Islam will fight for welterweight.
Islam's head coach, Javier Mendez, believes his fighter is more than ready. He said that while it's debatable if JDM is Islam's hardest test, the fact that Islam is so hungry for this specific challenge is what matters most. Mendez praised Makhachev's unparalleled work ethic and skill set, adding that the move to 170 suits him physically and that fans are about to witness the absolute best version of Islam Makhachev.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say if he's a harder challenge. I just know Islam wants this one. So for me, that's the challenge I want. And it's the challenge that I know Islam's going to be, supreme over, because I just know his skill set. I know what he brings to the table, and he brings an incredible work ethic along with skill set in every area. So Islam's a whole different animal than Jack's ever been involved with. So if that fight does materialize, we're going to see a hell of a fight, and you're going to see Islam perform at an absolute incredible level. And also, the weight is not super big for him either. So he's going to be a fairly decent welterweight. So Islam won't be a small guy. He'll be a decent welterweight if that fight materializes.
Other fighters have also made their predictions. Henry Cejudo sees this as the next logical step for Islam, predicting he will become a two-weight champion. Gilbert Burns thinks the move to 170 is the right one for Islam, who he says kills himself to make the lightweight limit. However, Burns warned that the fight is much closer than people think, especially with JDM training with the likes of Volkanovski and Craig Jones, who have deep insight into Islam's style.
I think Islam Makhachev is going to beat him. I think he's going to become the 11th double champ in UFC history.
Islam tweeted, keep it shiny, keep it nice for me. JDM, I mean, it was kind of like the perfect comeback. He was just like, yeah, come get it.
Keep my belt clean. Okay, so the has begun, dude. That fight is set. That fight's going to take place in October, Abu Dhabi. I think we all know that. We're no longer going to get Ilya versus Islam Makhachev just now.
Islam is working very hard. He's been saying vocal that he wants to go up to 170. I think he's a big boy. He killed himself to make 55. I think that's the right division for Islam. He just tweeted something after the fight that he will not vacate the title, and then he vacated the title. I don't know, but probably that was in the negotiation. Yeah, I like him moving up. I proven himself. He's #1 pound for pound right now. It's a good fight. Jack and Islam closer than people think, especially with Jack Della Maddalena doing a lot of training with Volk, with Craig Jones, those guys that kind of back the Islam on that first Volk fight. I think they're gonna have a lot of info, a lot of study, a lot of answers. It's closer than people think, this fight. I really like this fight. I don't have time right now. I didn't have time to dig deep a little too much on that fight, but I think it's way closer than people think, and JDM has a clear shot on beat.
Beyond the fight itself, Islam shared his dream of one day headlining a card at the legendary Madison Square Garden. He sees it as a venue for legacy, and his ultimate goal is to become a double champion in that historic arena, driven by greatness, not money.
I asked Dana if there's some opportunity to fight in Madison Square Garden. It will be honor for me, you know, fight in the biggest arena for MMA and boxing. Like it's for legendary arena, you know, and I will be happy to have the opportunity to fight in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, you deserve it at least one time, Islam. I know this has been a dream. You said this before. And they have other champions they can fight in Abu Dhabi. They have Magomed Ankalaev now, so this is your chance.
Yeah. This is my chance, and I want, you know. I know some of the fighters, boxing fighters, they're not fighting in Madison Square Garden for the money or just for the victory. They just fighting there for the legacy, you know. Yeah. And I also want to fight. I also want to fight there for the legacy.
How are you getting?
It's just a dream, you know, to be double champ in Madison Square Garden.
So there you have it. Islam Makhachev is risking it all for a second belt, facing a dangerous champion in a higher weight class. The experts are divided, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the preparations are in full swing. Will Makhachev's unparalleled skill and discipline lead him to two-division glory? Or will Jack Della Maddalena's power and unpredictability prove to be too much? What do you think? Who takes it and how? Let us know your predictions in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.